Watch the road unfolding in slow motion. Never close my eyes. Take risks. Always keep control. And attack. Attack whenever I can. When the final line has passed, never regret. My destination, the future.
It's a fly-by wickets from pole. Pantiatigi switches behind Werner, looks solid, but under pressure from Costa. Has been caught out, has he? Tremendous start by Werner, who's on the brakes as Costa fights back.
For the race, I had a good start. I was second in the first lap. Then I was all the race behind Robert, and it wasn't really possible to pass him. Every time I was getting behind him in the end of Sector 1, Sector 2 was a disaster because I was losing the downforce, I had no grip. So in the end I just came back quite really quickly, but once again the same story. Once I get behind him in the end of the Sector 1, Sector 2 was again a disaster, even more because my tires were a little bit destroyed.
I went backwards and had a difficult race, not what we were planning. We discovered a few problems yesterday evening after free practice, and then there wasn't enough time then to really fix it before the race. It's always frustrating when you're going backwards in a race. You know, with the problem we had, it sort of deteriorated as the race went on, and it got worse. So, you know, saw in my mirrors the guys were catching me, and even for the guys that passed me, I couldn't put much of a fight up.
It's a Carlin 1-2. Wickets takes the flag. Burns second with 18 championship points. Disappointment for Ricciardo, who finishes 10th.
Finishing P2 is good as well, and the championship is long, so scoring points, it's really important, and we have a good car, so I'm confident as well for tomorrow. Just need to have a good qualifying. The race will be as well really important, but qualifying will be the key, definitely.
With the engineer, with Peter, and looking over the data, and yeah, he's showing me what they found, you know, with the problem, and he's saying, yeah, this is why this did that because of this, and it's basically a lot of line graphs. But once you know what correlates to what, then it's quite easy to understand. So yeah, we're just looking over that and also sorting out some gear ratios for tomorrow.
Every time I go into a car, I feel that the car is mine, you know. I feel really comfortable in it. We always have a good setup for every type of track. I'm feeling great inside there, you know, it's the best feeling.
The 2 Victor boys being called forward. It bodes well for the Red Bull Juniors. Carlos Sainz and Daniel Kvyat, second and third on the grid behind the pole sitter Robin Freins. And away they go, Freins with pace as Sainz gets passed by Kvyat, who rockets off the line.
Well, the weekend went quite good for me. We had a good qualifying and a good race, short race, but a good race. I had a bad start. I was P3, and then I had to more or less catch up, and just when I had opened a gap, they put safety car in, so I was, I don't like that, because then it's really easy to overtake me. It's make it difficult in two ways, you know, because there are 47 drivers you have to battle with to beat them, and there are 47 drivers that can cause an accident. So at the end, you have to be aware that everything can happen, a red flag, a safety car, yellow flag. So you have to be fully concentrated on everything.
A little bit disappointing because, well, the start was good and I was running second, but then one driver hit me in my rear wheel and I was going careful. Then lost a little bit of positions because of that. Then the red flag came in when I was catching them back. So that's it.
My dad never tells me, like, you must do this corner like this, get it like this, brake here, jump the curb. And he just says to me, okay, you must have this attitude to racing. If you want to be a good driver, you have to be really professional, really focus on your job, and you have to be just a good attitude to your sport. llegaba al limitador y toda la recta. Entonces, no sé. Es que depende de la carrera que quiera hacer. Si me quiero escapar, que es muy difícil.
He's very focused and very reserved, maybe for outsider. I was thinking also that way in the first few tests we did with him. He's a very nice guy, very clever guy, but you need to know him a little bit because, okay, he carries a lot of weight on his shoulders because of the family name, and it's not that easy to cope with that kind of pressure when you are 16.
Second race for the young 2-litre men. It's a Red Bull lockout of the front row. Both drivers just as determined as each other here.
Well, it was a difficult start. I knew that if I come out of Rouge in P1, then at Le Com I will have quite a big deal with some guys, and that was all. I finished the first lap third. Nothing I could do, actually. You know, with the toe here, you feel it a lot.
Oh, great commitment!
Well, it's an amazing race because I won it and I had a good start and I could overtake Carlos and straight after the Rouge. It was a very good move. I was using my brain all the weekend. I was very concentrated, and now I know the way for the victory. So, well, that's it.
Well, we come out of Spa with more leadership in the championship, so for the moment we've done 7 races, 7 podiums, 4 wins, I think. I know that it's going to be really difficult, but we just need to keep pushing.
The goal is now who is first in the championship, in this case it's Carlos, and my goal is to beat him, and I will do everything to do it.
At the end we have a good relationship, you know, but then when you're out there on track, you have to be thinking only on you and on your wells, and it's a normal thing, you know, you can't do nothing about that.
Daniel sometimes a little bit more aggressive, which is very good in racing. Maybe he's sacrificing a little bit in qualifying. But, you know, all the drivers have good qualities and bad, not so good qualities, maybe not bad, but they're different types. But we have seen that both ways can lead to wins, which has happened so far. So I believe let's put it this way, I'm very confident that they have a great future.
Each individual driver has got their own preferences before a warm-up, and Jean-Eric, we went through exactly what he wanted to do before qualifying and for the race yesterday.
I think he feels very comfortable in the car, seems to have settled in quite nicely. He's worked with us before, so he knows how we work. He's driven the car before, so he knows all the controls and everything. So he seems very settled.
Well, it doesn't get better than pole if you want to avoid trouble here at Spa, and that's exactly where Jean-Eric Vergne sits alongside Daniel Zampieri on the front row. Ricciardo's trials go on. He leads off row 4 in the heat here in Belgium. Thumbs up, time to go racing. Flagman happy, how long will they hold them? Hardly at all as Vergne launches beautifully. Wickens follows on, bolts into second place. Ricciardo towards the wall as he charges past 2 cars into 5th. How did he find space there? Well into the pit window now. Race leader Wickens has already been in, so the pressure is on the boys at Carlin to match that pit work. Oh, and it's not the quickest we've seen. Wickens will hold the lead as Vergne exits the pits.
I had a good start, so starting first, I was able to pull away a little bit at the beginning, but then I had maybe not such a good pit stop, and my team had a really good one, so I exited just behind him, 1.5 seconds behind, and I was quite angry, and I said, okay, let's push on now. I had nothing to lose.
Sometimes hunting is better than being hunted. A superb push through Eau Rouge into Radiant. Vergne's had the slipstream, used the toe brilliantly. This is for the brave. They go side by side down towards Le Com. Only one can have the line here. Who's it going to be? It's Vergne. Big lock-up from Wickens. What about that?
I was able to come back really quickly on him, and Then he did a little mistake in the last chicane and passed him on the outside. So that was a pretty tough moment, pretty tough breaks. But I was able to come in the lead and then pull away again and win the race. That was pretty good. Now I'm back of second position in the championship behind my teammate. So this has been a really good weekend, and I'm really happy about this.
It's I mean, mixed emotions. You know, I try not to get too down on myself. It is my first race back in a while. We've got to look into a bit of stuff from the weekend because we feel we're down a little bit. You know, particularly on power, and we really need to get our head down and find the problem and then address the problem. Otherwise, we're making life a bit difficult for ourselves.
The engine wasn't quite noticeable on circuits that have got more corners in and straight lines. Here, you can only run so much wing, you can only run a certain ride height, it's all engine. So our strategy is that I want to win all the races. I'm disappointed we didn't win both races today, and I think realistically, if we had a few lucky breaks, we could have done.
I know John Eric, he had a strong weekend with 2 podiums, so it's a bit frustrating as well because he was very, very strong, you know, with the first and second place. So it's, yeah, mixed emotions. You know, I know we can be there, and it's just one of those things that as a driver you've got to try and overcome a few hurdles along the season, and unfortunately it started off with a hurdle, but we'll, hopefully it's the last hurdle.
No, it's okay. My start was good, but I was too far back.
What did you end up in the first corner?
5.
5? Not to position, that's very good.
And you, you stayed first on the start?
No, yeah, I stayed first in the start, then I lost my position in the pit lane. It was pretty hard to come back, and I passed him on the outside, but really on the verge. Nearly 13, was working the wheels, I broke so late.
In the corner?
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks.
Good, Gemma.